The Adwords Grant basic training video. Before we launch into the main course content, we're going to cover some of the basics of both the Google Ads platform and the grant policy. By doing this, it will give you a solid understanding of how it all works and the best practices that will set you up for success. So let's get started. In this training, we're going to cover the following. What are AdWords? How does the grant work and what restrictions do you need to be aware of? The different campaign types. The best practice for creating your account structure. How to target the right people. And what external factors need to be considered. So what actually is Google Ads? Google Ads is an online advertising program. The program allows you to create online ads to reach audiences that are interested in the products and services you offer. Or in your case, it allows us to reach people who are interested in the work your organisation is doing. And how do we know these people are interested in the programs or work that you're doing? It's because they are actively searching for terms that relate to your work through the Google search engine. Take this ad as an example. This appeared from a search relating to water charities. Now, whilst that is very specific, you can see the intention and the following result. And we can see this as a paid ad from the small indicator here. The Google platform runs on what is termed as pay per click, meaning you only pay for each click on your ad. In the marketing world, you'll hear this referred to as the abbreviation PPC. What this actually means is it doesn't matter how many times your ad was shown, you only pay for the clicks. Google Ads was built on 3 core principles: relevance, control, and results. The advertising arm of Google launched back in 2000, and it's still today the largest ad platform in the world, outranking Facebook and any of the other digital advertising platforms, which is why it's so useful for any non-profit to take advantage of the AdWords grant. So how do you get the most out of the AdWords grant? Now, it's a very common misconception that once you have the grant set up, you'll start to see an immediate increase in your direct donations. Unfortunately, this is not the case. But it is the end result most organisations are looking for, and that is achievable by using the grant as the first step in driving those donations. So let's have a look at that process and how you can achieve those valuable donations. So step 1 is to use the grant to raise awareness of your organisation and the work you're doing. The grant enables us to do that by putting your ads in front of more people who are interested in what you're working towards. It gives your organisation a voice and a loudspeaker through which to communicate. In turn, this will lead to more supporters. We know that supporters come in many different forms, and not all of them will convert to donors, even if they are advocates of what you do. But gaining support through email subscribes and social media following has 2 big benefits. The first is you now hold the attention of these people and you are on their radar, which gives you a great opportunity to engage and nurture these supporters. It also provides a higher chance of them sharing your work within their own network, which in turn may lead to further supporters. Through this engagement and the fostering of these potential donor relationships, you give yourself the best chance of converting these supporters into regular donors. But let's also not forget that one of the greatest benefits of the grant program is its free advertising. So understanding the AdWords grant. The grant gives you $10,000 per month to spend on Google advertising. It doesn't matter where your organisation is registered, the grant will always be in US dollars. Your ads will be entirely text-based. There is no video or images or imagery that you can use within any of the ad formats. They'll appear only on Google search result pages and in positions below the ads of paying advertisers. And ads can only appear on google.com. You cannot use search partners, and since you can only be on google.com with text ads, you are not eligible for the display network either. Now, I see a lot of people get stuck on this point when they set their account up. Obviously, in our video tutorial, we'll show you exactly where that is, but it's always a good point to note. Don't expect to be able to spend the full £10,000 each month. Again, this is quite a common misconception amongst a lot of non-profits that the moment they switch their account on, they will start to see this full $10,000 being spent each month. It's highly unlikely, but with the right strategies, you can definitely get close. And ultimately, the spend is not so important. We want to be driving really valuable traffic to your site. So we'd rather drive 500 people that are going to convert than 5,000 people who are not really that interested at all. And building up your spend and performance, it does take time and it takes work. But in this course, we're going to lay out a blueprint for you to follow. We'll walk you through step by step how to set it up. And if you just allocate some time and some work and put that behind this, you will start to reap the rewards of the Adwords Grant. Another really important thing to mention is that the quality of your website and the quality of the content on your website and well-created ads are the keys to success in that formula. So what are the different campaign types? This is a little bit of a trick question. The Google AdWords network is made up of two networks, search and display. And Google has 8 different campaign types. But if you remember what I just said, under the grant regulations, only the search campaigns can be used. So as you're setting up your campaigns, you'll see these options. But unfortunately, this is the only one at the moment that we can use under the grant program. Here's where we lay out the foundations of a good campaign structure according to proven best practices. This outline should be followed for each campaign that you create. So you start with creating a search campaign, and this will house your ad groups and ads. Within this campaign, you will create a number of different ad groups, and each of those ad groups will have a focus on just one keyword. The reason to do this is to ensure the relativity of the keyword to our ads. When you load in the keywords, you will create different match type formats for that keyword, which will include broad, phrase, and exact. Now, don't worry, we'll show you exactly how to do that and some great tools that make that very quick to do when we build out the first campaign. Within each ad group, we're then going to create 3 ads. Google requires a minimum of 2, but 3 is actually best practice. And there should be 1 responsive search ad and 2 expanded text ads. Then we add another layer, our ad extensions. These give the ads a greater prominence, more information and touch points for the audience, and they are proven to drive more clicks than ads that don't utilize them. The final layer are the conversions. These are the actions that people can take on your site and what we need to track to enable us to fully assess the performance of the ads and optimize the ads to drive these actions. Both the extensions and the conversions can be created at either campaign level or account level. As we work through the course, we will build out each of these building blocks alongside you using the interactive workbook, and each step has a video tutorial that you can follow along with. So how do we target the right people? Well, ultimately, we want to make sure that we narrow our audience, we limit who can see it, because we want to really put these ads only in front of the right people. So what we can do here is the main strategy we use for this is keyword targeting. So we were going to look for words that are relevant to your organisation, that people may be actively searching for, or that you want to be found from. The second thing we're going to use is geolocation. So where are you based? What areas does your organisation cover? Where is your supporter base located? And we can limit the campaign to show only in those relevant areas. And the third thing that we'll use are demographics. So who are your current supporters? What similarities do they have? And these are definitely things you can start thinking about. And again, we will work through together in the workbook. External factors to consider. So the performance of your grant account relies heavily on two external things. Three things in total. The first being the way that you set your account up and making sure that it is in line with best practice. But there are two things outside of the grant that really play a big part in your success. The first one is the usability and optimization of your website, making sure that the website is clean, easy to navigate, and it loads quickly. We want to be providing the best possible experience for any traffic that clicks through from our ads. And if they have a bad experience, you will actually see that you'll get penalised for that by Google. The second thing is the content that you've made for your audience to engage with. So what's on the site and how long can you keep them on there? A website that has a lot of engaging content, that links from one thing to another and guides people through to the actions that they want them to take, are ultimately the accounts that do best. You can be the most successful and knowledgeable grant AdWords expert, but if these two things aren't really up to scratch, you'll really struggle to get the most from the grant. Now, don't panic. We also cover both of these external factors in the course and provide simple and highly effective actions that you can immediately take. So in summary, the grant is perfect for making your organisation and work visible to more people. It's giving you a loudspeaker to spread the message of what you're doing. Ensuring you have quality content on your site for people to engage with is of utmost importance. Adhering to the grant regulations means that not all of the features of the Google dashboard are available to us, unfortunately. Building out a solid campaign structure is really the best foundation that you can give to your account. And using keywords, geographical location, and demographics to put your ads in front of the right people at the right time. So let's get started.